What is up, guys? Welcome into a brand new kind of cricket news video that we do every week on the channel. Before we get into the news, guys, if you could leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, it does massively help out the channel. We'll get straight into it and see what's happened in the last week. So in terms of Cricket 24 news, we haven't had anything. I haven't heard anything about a patch. I haven't heard of anything new coming. This was tweeted out saying that it was 20 days since the last patch. This was 4 days ago, so now we're coming on 3.5 weeks since we last had a patch on Cricket 24. It does make you worry that there are new kind of big ant games coming out, and now there's no Cricket 24 patches, and you think, I understand we're not probably going to get one every week at this point, but surely we could have one every couple of weeks. Not even just something new. This game's crying out for something new. I think I checked the other day. I've got about 7.5 days played on the game so far, which I guess is quite a lot. I think I ended up with about 50 or 60 on Cricket 22. So yeah, to keep this game fresh for me, and probably a lot of people that play this game as well and don't enjoy career mode maybe as much are probably really struggling with this game and aren't playing it anymore. So yeah, no, we've got to see some changes happen, because this is just getting a little bit ridiculous that we haven't had a patch in. I mean, we didn't have one over Christmas, which is acceptable. That's fine. Don't mind that. But just to have the one patch to put the Pakistan players in and then absolutely nothing after, just a little bit ridiculous if you ask me. Moving on to some cricket news now. Australia and West Indies have played a couple of T20 since I last made a video. And Maxwell's knock in the second T20, I think he scored something like 120 or 55 delivery, was ridiculous. I was watching it live because I really didn't have anything else to do on a Sunday morning. And just the way he hits the ball, the power that he gets on the ball, he is ridiculous. And I think he might be in a club of about 3, maybe now 4 of Australians I actually like. Warne's up there, Hugh Jackman's up there, and it's probably Maxwell is in next. I mean, there's not many Australians that I like. I think Glenn Maxwell might be one. In terms of the actual game, Australia are too strong for the West Indies, realistically. You kind of knew it was going to happen. I mean, to be fair, they gave England a good run, but England are terrible at white ball cricket at the moment. But that doesn't mean we won't defend our T20 title in 4 months' time. I'm pretty sure at this point, every time I make one of these videos, that Australia have just won some more silverware. It just seems to happen quite a lot. And they usually beat India in a final, and that's what's happened yesterday. Australia end up winning the Under-19s World Cup. I mean, it's not a massive World Cup, but you'll take it if you're an Australian. Again, a very kind of low-scoring affair. I do really struggle with 50 over cricket now. I don't know if it's just a TikTok attention span, but I sat down to watch it because I was like, oh, okay, it's basically a World Cup final. I'll sit down and watch it because why not? And then I watched it for about 5 minutes, realised that Glenn Maxwell was whacking the ball everywhere. And I thought, you know, I'd probably rather watch that, a bit of hit and giggle stuff. I mean, if your order of formats isn't Test cricket number 1, T20 number 2, 50 over cricket number 3, then I just don't know what you're doing with your life. Speaking of T20 cricket, we have had another franchise competition end with the Eastern Cape Sunrisers winning the SA20 for the second time. They went back to back. We've had 2 SA20 tournaments, and Aidan Markram have lifted the trophy for the boys in orange twice. Do you know what? One thing I will say is that kit looks really good. If I could get my hands on that kit, I want it. Okay, someone send it to me. And I will wear the hell out of that top because it does really look good. I mean, the actual final was just dominant. I think Sunrisers put on 200-ish. It was just over 200. And then they bowled them out 415 or something in reply. They ended up winning by 89 runs, which I mean is pretty big in T20 cricket. But do you know what? The SA20 isn't actually that bad. I do quite enjoy it in terms of the kind of horrible franchise leagues that are turning up around the world. I've said this before, I didn't watch it as much as I wanted to this year, just for the simple fact of the test matches have been on. So if I've already watched 8 hours of cricket by the time it gets to 11 o'clock, so when 3 o'clock comes around and the game's on, I kind of think, oh, do I really want to watch another 4 hours of cricket? Can I deal with 12 hours of cricket today? Probably not. But yeah, enjoyable tournament. I think the next franchise tournament starts on Friday, Saturday, something like that. The PSL starts. So that is, and I don't mind the PSL either. In terms of some team news for the England-India test matches that are going on, Virat Kohli has said that he is going to be out for the whole series. I think it's his first test match series that he's missed since, I think it was 2013. I saw the tweet. So 10 years, nearly 11 years since he last missed a full test match series. It's a real shame. I hope that everything that's going on in his life gets sorted and everyone's happy. There does seem to be the kind, I don't know, there's a lot of injuries, there's a lot of family problems of this series. I don't think anyone's either side is at full strength. And it's a real shot, especially as someone as charismatic and how big he is in the game of Virat Kohli to be out of the side. I didn't want to see it, but I guess whatever decision he feels is right, then he should go for. But he will be missed, and I have to admit, as an England fan, I'm glad that he's not playing, although Anderson has had his number for a number of years now. But no, he will be missed in the series. And players that are out for the rest of the series, Jack Leach has announced, well, England have announced that he will not play any further part in this test match series. And just what an awful run of luck Jack Leach has had at this point. I mean, he was such a big part of the kind of Bazball regime before the Ashes, and then since the Ashes, like, he's just struggled. I know he's had his injury problems and things like that, different problems before the kind of Bazball regime came in, and not getting a game because Stokes wasn't playing and Root didn't want to play a frontline spinner without an all-rounder. It kind of makes sense, but he's been so unlucky, and to miss another kind of marquee tour, a marquee series like he did with the Ashes. Now he's missing India away, and also you've got to think that, especially the backing that Bashir, Ahmed and Hartley have got by them not calling up any other spinners, you've got to say that, is his place always going to be in the test squad now? Is he going to be first name on the team sheet for the summer? I don't think so. I'd probably go with any of the three bowlers. I'd probably go, I think Hartley and Ahmed should be the two I'd probably play in the summer, just because them adding a bit with the bat really does help. But yeah, it's a real shame to see Leach out. I don't know if he'll play test match cricket again after this series. I mean, Stokes really backs him, so he might after he's over this, and we might be in the summer and he's our frontline spinner again. But I don't know. I think maybe it's starting to look like it's time to look at the future of Hartley or Rian Ahmed. But guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I very much hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave a like. Please remember to subscribe. I don't think there's anything else. I'm still upset about there not being any Cricket 24 news, really. But that's just kind of what we expect out of Big Ant now. We just don't seem to get any information. There's no real updates, no new content. So we'll just keep playing the game as it is. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.